The end of a year-long celebration of a huge milestone here at Texas Tech was marked during one of the university's most well-known traditions last week. Coming up, we'll have a look at the most jam-packed Carol of Lights ceremony in Texas Tech history.
The holiday season is in full swing, and groups around Lubbock and here on the Texas Tech campus took advantage of the first weekend in December to get people into the seasonal spirit. Find out how you could take a trip around the world and find your favorite furry friend a perfect gift without leaving the city limits.
And the Texas Tech football team has their destination set as they continue to prepare for another postseason appearance during the holiday season. We'll tell you where the team is going bowling, along with an update on Red Raider and Lady Raider basketball and sports.
This is the MCTV Weekday Update.
Welcome to the Monday edition of the MCTV Weekday Update. I'm Kiley Phillips.
And I'm Elene Khajishvili. Just over a year ago, Texas Tech University kicked off the year-long centennial celebration during one of the campus's longest-running traditions. And over the weekend, that same tradition was used to bring it all to a close.
The 65th annual Carol of Lights took place in the Science Quad west of Memorial Circle on Saturday night, with the university pulling out all of the stops to cap off Texas Tech's 100 years of existence. This year's packed lineup started at 7 p.m. and featured a list of performers and entertainment, both old and new. Cirque Entertainment started off the program and continued into the night with acrobatic performances. Next up, the featured musical guests of the evening, Lost Wax, took over and sang a combination of Christmas standards and popular tunes to accompany the Saddle Tramps Torchlight Processional. From there, Tech's mariachi Los Matadores sang Feliz Navidad. President Lawrence Skuvanek gave a welcome address, and Tech's combined choirs and trombone choir led the crowd in several Carol of the Lights Christmas classics. One of the featured elements of the night also included Tech professor and violinist Annie Chalix-Boyle's performance of "Oh Holy Night," a song that has been a staple of the Carol of Lights events for decades. The biggest moment of the night came just a few minutes later, as the campus buildings surrounded Memorial Circle and the entrance to campus were instantly illuminated, and Lost Wax took over to end the night. Fireworks and a Texas Tech-themed drone show filled the skies above the chemistry building, topping off the annual event and officially bringing a close to the centennial celebration. The 65th annual Carol of the Lights was by far the most extravagant edition of the yearly tradition, but university officials have not announced whether the event will return to its traditional format next year.
Carol of Lights was not the only holiday-themed event happening on campus or around town this weekend. The weekend calendar was filled with plenty of options to get into the seasonal spirit. On Saturday afternoon, the Museum of Texas Tech hosted their annual Holiday at the Museum event. The local community was invited to stop by for a trip around the world, where guests could learn about different traditions and holidays that take place during this time of year. Countries such as Iceland, India, Japan, and many more were featured during the event. Holiday at the museum included free crafts, food, activities, and a scavenger hunt for the chance to win prizes. The museum also offered free tickets to the planetarium with a donation of non-perishable food items. Holiday at the museum was the last event on this year's calendar for the Museum of Texas Tech, but visitors are still welcome to stop by and tour the facility before the university closes for the Christmas break on December 23rd. For more information on the Museum of Texas Tech, visit museum.ttu.edu.
With the Christmas season underway, many people are looking for the perfect gift for their loved ones, and for many that includes a furry friend. With that in mind, one group held a special pet-themed event to help local residents mark a few things off their list. Santa Paws took place at the Hodges Community Center on Saturday. Lubbock Parks and Recreation invited animal lovers to stop by and shop from local vendors specializing in pet items such as treats, toys, and much more. Attendees could also bring their pet and have them pose with Santa for a photo for $5. During the event, Lubbock Animal Services was also on hand for free microchipping. LAS also brought out some animals that were available for adoption from the animal shelter. Santa Paws wrapped up at 1 p.m. on Saturday afternoon. The South Plains area has been experiencing mild temperatures since early last week, with highs hovering right around 60 degrees. But the wind has been a different story.
High winds kicked up dust in the air and even led to minor damage over the weekend, leading to a gusty start for the month of December. But will windy conditions continue to be a factor as students finish up the fall semester? MCTV's weather specialist, Elisabeth Herring, has a look at what we can expect this week in today's forecast. Elisabeth?
Yes, so taking a look at our MCTV tower cam, you can see it's a gorgeous day outside. We saw some very windy weather on Saturday and Sunday. Saturday, wind speeds topping 60 miles per hour. It looks like we are going to be done with that wind for now, and it looks like we won't have much breeze for the next at least 48 hours moving into the weekend. We might see some more wind pick up, but for now, it looks like those high wind speeds have gone away. Taking a look at our radar for the week, students will be traveling home for the holidays this week and into the weekend, and it looks like we'll have good weather for that, except on Friday, it looks like we are going to see some rain move in the Houston area, moving up towards Dallas, but it looks like after that we should see some more clear weather. Taking a look at our lows for the South Plains, some places seeing freezing, Friona 28, up in Turkey 36, down in Jayden 36 as well. Definitely some cold weather, but we won't have any chances of rain tonight, so those places that are reaching freezing, we won't have any chances for ice, so commutes should be clear tomorrow morning. Taking a look at our highs for the South Plains tomorrow, hanging around in the 60s all across the area. Friona 61, Turkey 63 degrees, definitely some mild weather and sunny skies. Looking here locally in Lubbock, tonight low of 35 degrees. Tomorrow we will see sunny skies once again with a high of 63 here in Lubbock. Taking a look at the rest of the week, Wednesday, we have a high of 66, and then we're going to warm up even more on Thursday with a high of 74, and on Friday, we're going to continue that warm trend with a high again of 74. Saturday, we will see a cool front move in. We'll see some high winds potentially on Saturday, and we will have a high of 50 degrees, and we will see a freeze Saturday night with a low of 28. Sunday, we are going to warm up a little bit with a high of 57 and partly cloudy skies. Monday, we are going to warm up even more with a high of 60 and sunny skies. As we wrap up our semester here at Texas Tech, I hope everyone has safe travels home and a wonderful holiday season. I'm Elizabeth, and it's back to y'all.
Thanks, Elizabeth. The Texas Tech football team finished up their regular season 2 weeks ago in Austin, with the Red Raiders waiting to find out where they were headed for the postseason. And yesterday, the team officially received an invite to their third consecutive bowl game. Yesterday afternoon, Texas Tech Athletics announced that Red Raider football will take on the University of California Golden Bears in the Radiance Technologies Independence Bowl. The annual matchup takes place in Shreveport, Louisiana, and this year's game is scheduled for Saturday, December 16th at 8:15 p.m. Texas Tech is going bowling after going 6-6 during the regular season. This will be Tech's third appearance in the Independence Bowl, after previously playing against Ole Miss in 1986 and 1998. The Red Raiders are one of 9 teams from the Big 12 that are continuing into the postseason, tying a conference record. 8 teams will compete in bowls, with Texas Tech starting off the schedule. The University of Texas is the 9th team who punched their ticket into the postseason, as they will take on Washington in the second of 2 college football playoff games on New Year's Day. Tech's selection to the Independence Bowl marks the longest consecutive stretch of postseason appearances by the Red Raiders in 10 years. In 2013, Texas Tech ended their longest run of bowl appearances in school history, appearing in 13 consecutive postseason matchups.
The Texas Tech men's basketball team has a long way to go before the postseason, but the team got a taste of a potential March Madness matchup last week. The Red Raiders took on the Butler Bulldogs in Indianapolis last Thursday during the annual Big 12 Big East battle. Texas Tech was challenged early in the contest, with the Bulldogs running up by the score by as many as 10 points on the Red Raiders during the first half. But in the second, the Red Raiders caught back up and even held the lead 2 minutes of regulation. From there, the teams went back and forth and ended on a tie at 83 all. But unfortunately, overtime was a different story, as the Bulldogs took control again and then extended their lead by hitting 6 consecutive free throws. The Red Raiders fell to Butler 103-95. Texas Tech has been off since Thursday, and the Red Raiders will get back into action after almost a week off against Omaha on Wednesday. Tip-off for this week's game is set for 7 p.m. at the USA. If you're not planning to cheer on them in person, you can catch all the action on ESPN+.
The Lady Raider basketball team is currently experiencing one of their best starts to a season in recent history. The team is just 2 wins away from tying their best start in the last 10 years, after extending the current streak to 9 last week. On Friday, the Lady Raiders took on Houston Christian at the United Supermarkets Arena. Tech dominated the Huskies, holding the team to less than 8 points in the first 3 quarters. Jordan Merritt, Jasmine Lewis, Kyla Phillips, and Elena Khajishvili all finished in double figures, with Merritt scoring her first double of the year with 12 points and 10 rebounds. The Lady Raiders finished off the Huskies 79-34, marking the lowest number of points scored by an opponent against Tech in 13 years. The Lady Raiders are back in action tomorrow night as Sam Houston heads to town for a showdown at the USA. The game is scheduled for 6 p.m. and it will be available on Big 12 Now on ESPN+. Tomorrow marks the last day of classes for the fall 2023 semester, and finals start at the end of this week.
Many students are currently focused on just getting through the end of another semester, but for others, the end of finals also marks the end of their college careers, with one last big moment left to enjoy as a Red Raider. The fall 2023 commencement ceremonies are scheduled for Friday, December 15th and Saturday, December 16th. The ceremonies will feature thousands of students who will walk the stage during 4 ceremonies to receive their undergraduate or graduate degrees. On Friday, the ceremonies will start at 2 p.m. with students from the Colleges of Education, Visual and Performing Arts, and Arts and Sciences. The evening session will begin at 7 p.m. and feature the Graduate School, the College of Architecture, and University Studies. On Saturday, the final 2 graduation exercises will start at 9 a.m. with students walking from the College of Engineering and Business. And this year's commencement schedule will wrap up at 1:30 p.m. Saturday afternoon with the Colleges of Agricultural Sciences and Natural Resources, Human Sciences, and Media and Communication. All of the ceremonies are free and open to the public, but if you are unable to attend them in person, Texas Tech will also live stream all of the ceremonies online. For more information on this year's commencement and a link to the live stream, visit commencement.ttu.edu.
So Kylie, are you looking forward to the winter break?
Yeah, I'm really excited to go home and have a much-needed break after this finals week. What about you?
I'm excited to see my family as well. That's all for today's edition of the MCTV Weekday Update.
Thanks so much for joining us, and be sure to check ttuhub.net every day for more news. Have a great Christmas, a Happy New Year, and we'll see you in the spring.